The Wyatt Sicks Unmasks on last night's WWE Raw. Two former AEW champions' contracts are almost up. CM Punk's AEW controversies were referenced on Raw, and Bret Hart wants this thing banned from wrestling. Hello, and welcome to What Culture Wrestling here, the solo Tuesday news. Myself, Andrew Pollard. I hope you're well. I hope you're good. I hope your week is going as well as it possibly can. Right, let's get into it. And the Wyatt Sicks. Yes, there was the unmasking of three of the Wyatt Sicks on last night's Raw. We had the Creed brothers versus Otis and Tozawa. The Creed brothers picking up a win here with Chad Gable in their corner. There was a post-match beatdown from the Creeds and Gable. There was a brilliant slap from Maxine Dupree on Gable, which there's a fantastic image of that where it's kind of like almost like some sort of cartoon where it's the slap is caught perfectly and Gable's face is all like, yeah. Anyway, then the music hit is in the singular note, which is always the warning sign that the Wyatt Sicks is on the way. We had a top rope splash from Nikki Cross on Chad Gable. There was Mercy the Buzzard, Huskus the Pig Boy, and Ramblin' Rabbit, who'd made their way to the ring. And Unmasked. Now, we have previously seen Eric Rowan, of course, but there was that fantastic, emotional, heartfelt sit down that he did with Uncle Howdy with Bo Dallas. So we've seen Eric Rowan under the mask. This is the first proper glimpses, apart from, kind of like brief cuts in video packages that we've had of Joe Gacy as Huskus and also of Dexter Loomis as Mercy the Buzzard. There was a kind of a rock bottom / bookends to the Creeds. There was a funky little double team move where Gacy essentially powerbombed Loomis onto the Creeds. And then, yes, Chad Gable, being the smart heel that he has, made his way up the ramp. He did not want any of that smoke, but then there was plenty of smoke behind him because Bo Dallas, Uncle Howdy, made his presence known, laughed maniacally, and then Chad Gable basically just ran away because why wouldn't you? All three of the Wyatt Sicks that we saw in terms of Rowan, in terms of Joe Gacy, in terms of Dexter Loomis, all three look pretty darn badass. In particular, Dexter Loomis, the dreads that he's got now. There was an X on his head, almost like, I guess, the Manson family. But yeah, all three of them look pretty darn impressive. And again, this is a natural progression that we need for this faction, because it's all well and good looking menacing. It's all well and good having spooky imagery. It's all well and good having that eerie, again, singular note that plays in terms of their music right now. But there's got to be a point where we start seeing things in the ring. And we are gradually seeing that, whether it was Bo Dallas hitting the Sister Abigail. Was that last week or the week before? Either way, he was getting physical. And now we've got Loomis, we've got Gacy, we've got Rowan all getting physical as well. And Nikki Cross as well getting physical with the crossbody or whatever it was off the top onto, was it crossbody? Not exactly, but it was just like a dive onto Gable. But yeah, so we need to start seeing more from the Wyatt Sicks, and we are seeing more from the Wyatt Sicks. I think how things have been handled so far it's been pretty solid for me. Of course, things can go spectacularly wrong. Things can go amazingly well. So we'll see how these things play out once SummerSlam is in the rear view mirror next Monday, I guess. Right, switching over to AEW, and there's a couple of champions. Now, one of them we did know about. There's a couple of former champions who their deals are up this year. We previously heard that Penta El Zero Miedo, his contract was expiring this year, and there was interest from WWE. Fightful Select now reports that Rey Fenix, as well as another, of course, Penta's brother, whose contract is expiring in 2024. There's no details on exactly when this deal is up, just at some point later this year. And much like Penta, it's expected that there would be interest from WWE. Should Rey Fenix, I guess, decide to explore free agency, test the waters, see what else is out there. Obviously, it goes without saying that AEW will be keen to keep both Lucha Bros, and talks have taken place about them re-signing with Tony Khan's promotion. But yes, as of right now, as this recording, no deals, no extensions have been agreed. So yes, Penta and Rey Fenix could be free agents later in the year unless something changes. And for me, I think the prospect of them in WWE, I know some people, the AEW diehards, would hate that. But I think it's a really intriguing one, because in WWE, they would be something very different. I'm not saying that, Penta is just a spectacular presence as a performer. Rey Fenix can do stuff that few people can do, but that style that Phoenix works in particular is commonplace in AEW. There's a lot of people that work a similar style, and when there's so many people working a similar style, it's hard to stand out quite as much. Now, Phoenix does manage to stand out. I'm not saying he doesn't, but in WWE, he would be fairly unique. I mean, there's very few people that work the particular style that Rey Fenix does that are in the WWE system right now, so he would stand out. I think the one for me, though, that really stands out would be how Penta could be presented, Penta El Zero Miedo, or Pentagon Junior or Pentagon Dark, whatever. I just think how that character, that visual, how that could work in a WWE with the production value, the presentation that WWE has. That's the really intriguing one for me out of the two of them. Obviously, you could bring them in as a tag team, and I'm sure that would be the case if WWE could, they bring them in together. But like Penta, just the visual of him, the makeup, the mask, that's somebody you could, within a matter of weeks, you could just, like, by using vignettes and videos, you could, like, establish him as just like this crazy top level heel. I'm thinking, basically, I'm just yearning for Lucha Underground, where Penta was a badass, man, snapping people's arms for fun. And it was like, he was genuinely scary. Because, I mean, just if you just look at a picture of Penta, and you have no idea who he is, or you're not a wrestling fan, immediately you go like, dude, that dude looks pretty serious. So yeah, this is one to keep an eye on. It could be that Penta and Rey Fenix both end up re-signing with AEW, of course, and that could well be likely. But for now, at least, there is that speculation of like, well, they've not re-signed yet, so who knows? Right, sticking kind of with AEW a little bit. Last night's Raw, if you saw it, there was Pat McAfee alluded to CM Punk's past controversies in AEW. Now, the opening segment was Seth Rollins came out to the ring. Seth freaking Rollins, sorry. And was joined by CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, just to set the stall ahead of McIntyre versus Punk with Seth as the referee, special referee for SummerSlam this coming weekend. And as McIntyre made his way to the ring, Pat McAfee dropped a line of Drew McIntyre was stirring things up on social media this past week, bringing up things with CM Punk's past. Now, in case you're not on social media, and if you are not on social media too much, well done. It's a cesspool for the most part. But there was a McIntyre, his Twitter game, his X game has been exceptional in the past. God, I was going to say a few weeks, but it's months really at this point. Just trolling CM Punk whenever he can. Even going to Mindy's Bakery at one point, that was a fun one. Playing Punk's music in his car at one point in time to troll some fans in the car park. And this past week, there was a picture posted by Drew McIntyre of him alongside Jack Perry. Yes, AEW's Jack Perry, the former Jungle Boy, the current TNT champion. I believe the caption, to paraphrase, was something like "Real photograph, Crimea River." Now, of course, CM Punk and Jack Perry have quite the history together. It was the altercation with Jack Perry that ultimately led to CM Punk getting fired from AEW. I mean, if you've been living under a rock, the Crimea River line is a reference to Jack Perry at All In, where on the pre-show, it's still crazy that all this happened on the pre-show of the pay-per-view. The 0 hour pre-show was Jack Perry versus Hook, and there was a car windshield where Jack Perry turns to the camera, says Crimea River, Real Glass Crimea River, which is again in reference to something previously where Punk had to, I guess not chastise, but have words with Jack Perry about wanting to use real glass in a previous segment. So yes, that led then to Punk and Perry having a conversation backstage at All In, which led to how did Punk phrase it to Ariel Helwani? Something like, I just choked somebody a little. Something like that was how he phrased it. Either way, you should not do that to your co-workers unless they really, really deserve it. No, I'm joking. Don't do that. Don't be choking co-workers. But yes, from there, it was Punk. Obviously, there was a big melee. He called Tony Khan a clown by all accounts, lunged at Tony Khan feared for his life, of course, and Punk was fired. So yes, this is just by Drew McIntyre taking a picture. I don't know where this was, actually, to be honest. I'm sure it was some sort of convention, maybe it was at the airport, who knows. But yes, Drew McIntyre taking a picture with Jack Perry was very much grade A trolling. And McIntyre's on such a roll, man. Such a roll. Right, one last story. And while I'm hosting a solo Tuesday news, obviously I will find a way to shoehorn Bret Hart in. And this time it's because Bret Hart wants something banned from wrestling. And no, it's not Shawn Michaels, unfortunately. This was a Signed by Superstars appearance, as picked up on by Fightful, where Bret was asked about what he thinks of the current product these days, and his answer was, "It's been so long since I watched, I can't answer that fairly. They need to ban the slap spots." Now, Bret had previously complained before about the overuse of chops in matches. I think he said he was almost embarrassed by the I was going to say Drew McIntyre, no, it wasn't. It was Sheamus versus Gunther at the first Clash of the Castle. That was, of course, for the IC title. Bret was in attendance for that. I thought it was a phenomenal match. I don't want to disagree with my boy Bret Hart, but I thought that was a fantastic match. Possibly my match of the year for 2022. But Bret said he was embarrassed by that match because of the overuse of chops. Now, this one, he says they need to ban the slap spots. Some people are taking this as, again, talking about the chops. Other people are taking it as being about leg slaps because, man, leg slaps are... It just seems like they're so commonplace. I mean, leg slaps have been around in wrestling for a long time, but they were done so much smarter back in the day. It is a fine art to super kick somebody in the face, should we say, and slap your leg to get the impact noise while not making it look like you slap your leg. That on that regard, hey, Shawn Michaels, I will forever beef with the Heartbreak Kid, but he did that exceptionally well. And then he started wearing, when he came back, he made his return and eventually settled on some gear that was not so much tights, but almost like they were like pants, trousers, whatever. And naturally, I believe they made like an impact noise just because of the material. So he didn't need to slap as much. But yeah, the leg slap is something that I will forever, it will grind my gears and I will shout at clouds like an angry old man, like Grandpa Simpson, because it is a fine art. And if you can't do that art very well, then don't do it. Simple as that. Like anything, if you're on a public stage doing something that you're supposed to be very good at, but you're not necessarily good at, and you're totally giving the game away that, yes, look at me, I'm slapping my thigh. That's where the noise is from. Yeah, don't do it. Move away from it. Stay away from it. But that's been my old man rant for the day. I've been Andrew Pollard. This has been the What Culture Wrestling Solo Tuesday News. There's another fantastic video around here. As Phil James would say, continue your YouTube journey, please. I will catch you soon. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.